They go in search of points in much more familiar surrounds, the Jabba Al Ahmad Stadium in Kuwait, where of course they played 4 times back in 2021 during the COVID restrictions and won the lot. For Palestine, it is the continuation of a football exile from their homeland that stretches back 4 years, but they will attempt to bring at least some joy to their people at a time of immense suffering. They are, on paper at least, a much better team than Bangladesh, having qualified now for 3 consecutive Asian Cups. And while the Socceroos should still be too good this evening, any complacency surely cannot be afforded tonight. 80,000 Palestinians live in Kuwait, and some of them are here tonight to cheer on their nation, even though it's 5 o'clock on a weekday in terms of the kickoff time. As for their players, they've prepared with a 3-week camp in Jordan, where over 3 million of their compatriots live. So perhaps it's a bit of a surprise that Kuwait was chosen as the venue, but a choice nevertheless that Australia will be grateful for, given that they have twice lost World Cup qualifiers in Oman. They're going to make quite a noise, the Palestinian fans. It won't be quite intimidating as it might have been in Jordan inside this 60,000 capacity venue, but the majority of the crowd will be in favour at the Lions of Canaan, who will look to build on the points they gained in the goalless draw against Lebanon in Sharjah. It's only the second ever meeting at senior level between the two teams. You might remember that they met in the group stage of the Asian Cup 4 years ago in 2019. Australia won that day by 3-0. And again, they start favourites here tonight. Let's pause then as the teams line up for the national anthems. Well, some of the Palestinian players, perhaps understandably, a little emotional as the two teams go through the pre-game ceremony. Palestinian players all wearing the traditional scarf of their homeland, the kufiyah. Some of the officials too. And the Gulf has been not always a favourite visiting spot for Australia in the past. They've only actually lost 8 World Cup qualifiers since they moved to Asia in 2006, and 5 of those defeats have come in the Middle East. They should be too good tonight, but Palestinians, of course, will play heavily on emotion and well back from the stands. There's our match referee tonight, who is Qasim Al-Hatmi, the 33-year-old from Oman. And the two skippers, Matt Ryan, of course, of the Socceroos, and Musab Al-Batat, his Palestinian counterpart. Mild temperatures for this game, for this part of the world, 25 degrees, and pitch is pretty decent, even though Kuwait played India in their own World Cup qualifier here a few days ago, which produced a bit of a shock, with India winning that game by 1-0. Now the two players, or centre players I should say, lining up either side of the centre circle for a mark of respect, which I assume is due to the current circumstances in the region. Well, so many people have lost their lives in this current conflict. Football almost seems to be an irrelevance, but it's a sense of normality, of course, for Palestine, and a chance for them to wear their nation's jersey and represent their country with pride. And of course, it's a similar story for Australia as well, and they must put to one side all of that emotion and focus on getting the job done. You'll notice that they're wearing their change strip of predominantly all blue today. First time since the World Cup win against Tunisia happy memories. Almost a year ago to the day now. Doesn't time fly? And we're already on the road back to the next World Cup, which will be held, of course, in Mexico and Canada and the United States in 2026. So Palestine kick us off. The second step on the road towards the World Cup. It might be a little bit more difficult than the first, Daniel McBreen, but you'd expect that Socceroos are good enough to get the job done tonight.
Yeah, good evening, Simon, and everyone out there. There's been a lot of spoken about what's happening in the region, but it's about the next 90 minutes for both these teams now. And the Socceroos heavy favourites, but plenty of Palestine fans in the crowd to cheer on their team.
This is AEDT, star striker from the team. Sayam takes over. This is Al-Bata, the captain. He does like to get forward down that right-hand side. They play ostensibly a 4-3-3, but both fullbacks are encouraged to get forward by coach Makram Daboub. Talking of which, there he is, the 50-year-old Tunisian coach of Palestine, former goalkeeping coach to the previous incumbent, Noureddin Ali, who took them to the Asian Cup in 2019. Here come Australia, looking to spring their first attack, and Martin Boyle is round the first challenge. Ryan Strain joining in, three in the middle. Mitch Duke was at the near post, but Palestine stand firm. Australia will come again through Ryan Strain. Well, they've got the ball caught up between his feet. Touched by Metcalf, and Australia are back on the front foot. Encouragement for Graham Arnold, who racks up 60 games over his two spells in charge of the national team tonight. The first Socceroos coach to do that. This is Bacchus, squared up for Aziz Bayic, who was looking to float it, a fancy, towards that far post, and it's spooned up in the air by a Palestinian defender, likewise by Bayic. Now brought down by Abuada, and Palestine looking to spring forward, but big Harry Souttar is there.
Well, I guess it's a really warning signs for Palestine. And the intent of the Australians, a quick break from one end to the other. And I'm sure that we'll see a dominant performance from the Socceroos.
Australia looking to play in Connor Metcalf down that right-hand side. He's done really well. Duke waiting in the middle, only partly away by Termanini. Reset through Boyle. And Palestine survived that raid, and there's a little bit of holding by Harry Souttar on AEDT.
Well, he did well there, didn't he, AEDT? Good strength against Harry Souttar. You see here, uses the body well, gets his body across. And that's not easy against such a big player.
AEDT did make his name really with the club in Kuwait, Al Arabi, where he won both the championship and the Golden Boot in 2021. Very much a favourite with the Palestinian fans. After 2 years in Portugal, he's now in the top division in Belgium. It's going to be another free kick in favour of Palestine. Slightly clumsy challenge from behind on Atta Jaber. Mitch Duke doing the chasing back, but catching the man rather than the ball.
Well, he just got his foot in the way, didn't he? Jaber was about to strike.
So an early set-piece opportunity for the Lions of Canaan. Tama Sayam standing over the kick. A wall of two just guarding that near post for Matt Ryan, just in case. And the Palestine supporters sensing a big chance for their team here. Tama Sayam trying to steer it in towards that near post area, and had a bit of pace on it. Matt Ryan forced to palm it behind for a corner.
It was a relatively comfortable save in the end, but keeping Matt Ryan on his toes.
First save in anger made by the Australian custodian, and the corner's ready to go, but the referee isn't. Sayama's jogged away and left it for Mohamed Rashid to deliver for Palestine in the all-red strip. Rashid's out-swinging corner. And the shot wasn't a bad one, you know, from Mahmoud Abuwada. Short in stature, but it is very best to get over the top of that.
Well, it was a decent ball in, wasn't it? And a good attacking play. Martin Boyle putting his body on the line. And as the ball came back out, just rather lob it over the top of Matty Ryan. Sees it comfortably over the bar. But if the Socceroos thought this was going to be all one-way traffic, Palestine have shown them earlier that that may not be the case.
They're looking to press Matt Ryan to prevent him from playing out from the back, but he managed to find an option. And Ryan Strain is playing with a bandaged left wrist. Into those noisy supporters. They will cheer every time Palestine get over the halfway line. Don't you worry about that. Come their team.
Well, if that's not enough for this team to be lifted, I don't know what is. Great support here. It's something that the Socceroos will have to weather. Always difficult playing away from home.
Good header one as well by Zayed Kumbar. Souttar calm under pressure. And Rolls slides it to Bajic. Palestine don't concede too many goals. The problem is that they don't score too many at the other end. Just 3 goals in the 4 column in their last 6 internationals, even though they've only conceded 7 in the same period. Which is why so much rests on the shoulders of that man, Ode Dabar. First Palestinian to play professionally in Europe. At least Palestinian born. This is Souttar. Looking for the run centrally of Craig Goodwin. Backus can't quite find his range, or Connor Metcalf. This is Abuwada. He is dispossessed. Metcalf won't quite get there ahead of Mohamed Salah, who wanted the throw but isn't going to get it. It's a pretty robust challenge from Salah, but a fair one.
Yep, he wasn't leaving any opportunity to get past, was he? Socceroos need to get on the ball and move it around a little bit, try and subdue the crowd.
Strange throw. Touch inside the penalty area by Duke, but nobody there for the Socceroos. Played forward by Sayam. Rolls always the favourite up against the bar. It's not been the most comfortable start for Graham Arnold's team. See if they can settle things down here. Bajic. Behind him is Goodwin. Jackson Irvine. And Bacchus. Strain. Metcalf. Or rather Boyle, I should say. Looking for Metcalf, who has it now. He's going to have a go, Conor Metcalf. First save, forced out of Rami Hamada in the Palestine goal. Routine in the end.
Yeah, well, you said it, Simon. It's been a little bit scratchy for Australia. Not the most comfortable of opening 10 minutes. I'm sure Graham Arnold would be wanting them to settle into the game. A little bit more possession, move the Palestine team around. Look to work those openings.
Palestine are actually unbeaten in 21 home or neutral ground qualifiers. 17 wins and 4 draws. It's late on Bajic, and the referee's going to have a word with Sayam. Very early in the game, Macca, but Palestine's approach does sort of remind me of Syria, another team from the region. They're not shy in doing the physical stuff when necessary. Well organised.
Yeah, and looking to press high as well, put the Socceroos under pressure. Could easily be excused for sitting back and trying to soak up the pressure and really frustrate the Socceroos in that final third, but pushing forward, trying to press higher up the pitch.
Ball by Al-Battat. Oh, Matt Ryan almost caught out by the bounce there. Could have been embarrassing. Metcalf working it out towards Strain. He's under pressure and he's dallied too long. And Abouada has stolen the ball. Fortunately for Australia, it's straight at Ryan, but Palestine offering their fans some early encouragement.
Yeah, it's a great start from Palestine. The Socceroos don't look comfortable at all on the ball, do they? They just need to settle down, really find their groove in this game and move the ball around. Pick the pass, look for those midfield passes, your Jackson Irvines and Conor Metcalfs.
Part of their game plan tonight was to try and turn what is seen as being a rather square and flat back four of the Palestinians and get the likes of Goodwin and Boyle in behind, which they have done here. Craig Goodwin and Al-Battat got back in time. It's going to be a goal kick actually for Palestine, but the first little glimpse of Graham Arnold's game plan coming to fruition.
Yeah, and a little calmer on that occasion. As his Bajic in a higher position was able to roll Craig Goodwin in behind. Probably just balked, didn't he? An extra second there, which allowed Battat to get in with the touch, win the goal kick.
Magnificent venue in Kuwait City, 60,000 capacity. I imagine Makram Daboub will be delighted with his team start. This is Termanini off the head of Bajic and out for a throw.
Well, we were told before the match they were expecting around 15,000 Palestinian fans. Well, they're making the sound of a lot more, aren't they? Really urging their team on.
to clear his lines. Good physical presence, a good outlet for Palestine to have with those long clearances, and then a foul on Dabar. It's Palestine the free kick. Goodwin the offender. Quarter of an hour played in Kuwait City. Tamer Sayam has tested Matt Ryan in the Australian goal once. Abu Wada firing just over. Colin Metcalf with Australia's only reply so far. Here's Boyle trying to get busy, but it was rather crowded. Break from a second time, and he's fouled. And will draw the free kick.
It's all been a bit, just a little bit scrappy, hasn't it, from the Socceroos. Pressure from Palestine, obviously contributing factor.
Chance for Craig Goodwin to try and find one of those pinpoint deliveries. The likes of Souttar and Duke, of course, obvious targets. Rolls is up there as well. Instead they go along the floor. Change of angle for Craig Goodwin perhaps. Here comes now, and out again by Mohamed Salah. Boyle. Corner for the Socceroos.
It's good defending from Palestine again. Dangerous balls in. First one cleared, second one blocked, and this is a danger area for them.
We saw Harry Souttar is in the foreground of your picture there. The opening goal against Bangladesh from a corner delivered by Craig Goodwin. Let's see if history's about to repeat. Goodwin's delivery, it has been repeated. Extraordinary. Goodwin to Souttar, same result, 1-0 Australia. Harry Souttar has his 10th goal for his country in just his 22nd appearance. And it's that combination that's done the damage for Australia once again.
Well, it's so hard to defend against, isn't it? Look at big Harry Souttar, he just holds his ground, big and strong, and the delivery from Craig Goodwin is on a dime, hits it right on the forehead of Harry Souttar, who has the easiest of tasks to just nod it home. And it was mentioned before the game that that was such an outlet for the Socceroos, and it's come to fruition again. Wonderful delivery from Craig Goodwin.
Well, he joins some illustrious company with that 10th international goal. Paul Wade and Kevin Muscat, no less, on the all-time list. And the fact that it's come in so few internationals speaks volumes as to the threat that he poses from those set-piece situations.
Well, he's just so hard to defend against, isn't he? And we saw on that occasion, he just held his ground. He didn't need to run, doesn't need to create the space to move into. He just uses his frame and his strength. And when you've got a player like Craig Goodwin to deliver, it makes it very difficult for the opposition.
Palestine looking to strike back. Corner whipped in low towards the near post. It's tidy work by Musab Al-Batat. To head off Martin Boyle, and a test for Matty Ryan. One that he always looked likely to pass. And a quick release to try and get Craig Goodwin moving forward. You can tell that he's frustrated with his inability to stick hold of the ball. And instead it's Saldana. Straining if you like, to get back goal side of Sayam. This is Mohamed Rashid out for Al-Bata. Already got hold of the cross and up and away by Irvine. Tierney battling with Duke. No foul, even though Palestine wanted one. Oh, now there's a problem with Ryan Strain for Australia, but play will continue. Kai Rolls saw the ball out. But Ryan Strain looks to be in quite a lot of discomfort here. And attention is immediately called for.
Yeah, this didn't look good. He went down before the challenge even came in. I'm not too sure.
He's twisted the knee as he fell. And there are some rather worried Australian faces around Ryan Strain. Let's have another look at it.
Is it the groin? Looks
yeah,
like he,
could be.
Yeah, grabbed maybe the left groin there. Just maybe the foot just not grabbing in the ground as he would have liked. He went down straight away.
The player forced to the turf with no obvious contact. You do worry whether it's a serious soft tissue injury. He looked to be writhing around in pain, Ryan Strain, making just his second start for his country this evening. Australia will continue with 10 men for the time being. Lewis Miller, of course, on the bench as the obvious replacement, should he be required.
Well, I think we heard Graham Arnold straight away yell out, "Lewis, off you go, get warmed up."
Australia in no particular hurry with the throw. Boyle left it a fraction short from Metcalf with the return. Backers biting into the back of his opponent. There's the view from the blimp or the drone. Looking out over Kuwait City. Ryan Strain is back up on his feet. But Lewis Miller is already on. So Graham Arnold forced into that early change at right back, taking no chances with the injury to Ryan Strain, which is a pity for the St Mirren fullback. He's had a good start to the season again in the Scottish Premier League and earned his starting spot tonight, but it's only lasted a fraction over 20 minutes.
Well, let's just hope that's nothing too untoward. Maybe just a slight strain.
Of that change. Lewis Miller on for his fourth cap. Playing in behind his club teammate, Martin Boyle, down that right-hand side. So at the very least, there shouldn't be any problems with their understanding.
Not at all. And he loves to get forward as well, doesn't he, Lewis Miller?
Kai Rolls. Irvine. Cross to Harry Souttar, whose goal divides the two teams. Fraction too heavy for Miller.
I think Harry Souttar thought Lewis Miller was going to take off and go forward there. Just played it in front of him. Lewis Miller had just stopped his run.
Longer out of play by Saldana for Palestine, who is one of those from the Palestinian diaspora, plays for Union San Felipe in Chile, which is the country of his birth, but many Palestinians living in that part of the world. We've got got a club in the domestic competition called Palestine. The referee got an inadvertent touch there, but play will go on. As Palestine retain possession. Saldania. Comfortable for Souttar. Chested down by Bacchus, but miscontrolled by Miller. All the way through to Rami Hamadi. Australian defence have pushed up to squeeze the pitch. Souttar. Seeking, but not finding his teammate. Instead, Palestine will cross, but never looked likely to get there. Goodwin, and look at Aziz Bajic bombing forward. It's almost a very good take by Conor Metcalf, almost but not quite. Bajic now out of position. No foul by Souttar. Bacchus to try and thread it through. Not sure Mitch Duke was entirely anticipating that. And he'll float the ball into the box. Al-Batat chests it back to his goalkeeper.
Well, the Socceroos have really struggled to get anyone in midfield, haven't they, on the ball, facing forward. As we have another look at the goal there, look at the strength. Makes it so difficult. Harry Souttar, look, just holds his ground, gets the arm out and creates the space, and as we said before, the delivery from Craig Goodwin, absolutely sublime.
I'll tell you what, his marker, Mohamed Salah, is not small by any means, but having stood next to Harry Souttar myself, and I'm 6'3",
you've grown a couple of inches, have you?
Let me tell you, he looked like Snow White, stood next to one of the dwarfs next to me.
Yeah, he's a big man, isn't he? It's in these positions here that Australia have really struggled to move that ball through that midfield area. Lots of pressure from the Palestinian midfielders. They've been forced to really go round or try to go long.
Goodwin. Loaded away by Mohamed Salah. Irvine has a look. Bacchus didn't need to. Room here for Keanu Bacchus. Australia trying to pick their way through the defensive lines. It's a poor ball though by Keanu Bacchus. Miller clattered into by Zaid Kunba. Irvine. Souttar. Irvine. Space is there, as you're pointing out to me, Daniel McBreen, for the Australians to exploit, but just a little bit slow in doing so.
Well, we're seeing Craig Goodwin and Martin Boyle come inside, and the two fullbacks push on high. And that brings Jackson Irvine and Keanu Bacchus a little deeper as well.
This is Miller. Bacchus. Irvine for Rolls. Now they do find that little pocket of space. Goodwin, tempting ball in. And the shot from Metcalf was on target. Not comfortable enough for Rami Hamadi. But they worked that quite well.
Yeah, that was good movement from the Socceroos. That's where you want to get Craig Goodwin into those areas. We know his delivery is fantastic. It wasn't a bad ball either.
There's Goodwin again. Just overran it. Nipping him was Ato Jaber. Bar a little bit isolated, but he gets the throw off Souttar. Saldana. Salah going cross-field, looking for his captain. Will be a Palestine throw. The problem for coach Makram Daboub is where are those goals going to come from? Just one they've scored in the last 5 matches overall. It's in a 2-1 defeat in Oman, scored by Mahmoud Abouwada. Goalless draws in that sequence. It's the most difficult part of the game. Miller's strength not enough. A little ripple of excitement amongst the Palestinian fans, which quickly dies down as Saldana gives a bad ball. And that's a foul by Sayab.
And that's turning into a good battle on that right-hand side, isn't it? Lewis Miller doesn't mind a battle, doesn't mind using the body.
Sayab. A little bit too eager. He's one of the overseas-based contingent, of which there are 10 in the Palestine squad. He plays his club football in Thailand for Prachuap, who are bottom of the Thai top league. Here he is again. Sayam. Ode Dabar. Bata. Oh, it was a tempting ball in. Souttar was underneath it. Goodwin can't stick hold of it. Ode Dabar again. Lifting it into the box. Bounces off the face, I think, of Harry Souttar. There are appeals for handball by the Socceroos, and those appeals are heeded.
Well, he scored a goal at the other end, but Harry Souttar was big and strong there again. First ball came in, and this was the shout for handballs. You can see the clearance there. Kumbar couldn't quite get it there past Harry Souttar, and then couldn't really do too much about it, but the referee says, yep, and paid a free kick.
Ball ricochets onto his hand so quickly, doesn't it? I do wonder if that had been an Australian defender, would a penalty have been awarded, even though the arm was away from the body. Anyway.
It's just turning into a bit of a battle, this, at the moment, isn't it?
I'm sure Graham Arnold and his team would have expected this. That's what the move to Asia was made to do, to provide these sorts of challenges. Hostile environments. Long journeys. Australia, in the course of the journey, have dealt with it pretty well, really. Boyle, There wasn't much intent to go for the ball from Mohamed Rashid. And the friendship's a little bit too late, Mohamed.
I think actually as they fell, he may have come down on ball. You see, it's a definite foul there, but I think just the foot might catch here in the head. Oh, we may never know.
You watch Mohamed Rashid at close quarters, of course, Mackie. You were in Bali, watching the Mariners against Bali United, AFC Cup. See how this develops. Lewis Miller penalised.
Yeah, that was another tough occasion for Australian football.
What are you going to say for you?
It's a tough trip.
Rather scratchy opening 10 minutes or so. Australia have certainly settled into the game. Baines with that throw into space for Souttar. Now Lewis Miller. Rolls. Irvine. Australia just waiting to try and pick their moment. So no risk football just for the time being. Bacchus with Rashid at his back. Now they look to hits down the flanks, and they're in behind through Martin Boyle. Might have gone himself, I thought, Martin Boyle. Instead looked to square it to a teammate.
Yeah, it was a great ball from Keanu Bacchus for the run of Boyle. I'm with you, Simon. That was a good opportunity as he takes his first touch inside to maybe just have a strike across the goal there. Started with the challenge. And Hamida cleaning up.
By Boyle. Almost broke kindly for Metcalf, not quite. This is Saldana. Rashid. Al-Bata. Scoop back to his teammate from Rami Hamadi. Highly rated goalkeeper in golf circles. So the record for clean sheets for Palestine all time, but won't add to his tally tonight, of course. Saldana. Jaba. Dabar just dropping off the front line to try and get involved in the game. Saldana found a little bit of space, Palestine. Space they could exploit. Ryan to clear upfield. Rashid, the little lifted ball over the top. This is Thomas Seya. He was ever so slightly off balance when he went to deliver that cross. And that, sadly for Palestine, was fatal.
I'd like to see the Socceroos be a little bit more expansive in their press. Move forward as a unit and press the Palestinians a little higher, rather than and sitting in that mid to low block at times. Try and put the pressure on early and win that ball higher up the pitch.
Souttar. Bacchus. Irvine. Goodwin with a bit of time here to get the head up. Sayan got back goal side to make the block. Irvine. It's the right idea. Albata is too smart.
Yeah, it's great defending. Read the situation well. Dummy to run through.
Quieter now. Harry Souttar's opening goal, which came on 18 minutes. Still very much in the contest. Touch off Irvine. This is Musab Albata. Good foraging from Bacchus. And again, Irvine. Aziz Bayic, who is the most experienced outfield player in the Socceroos squad. Matt Leckie has more caps, rather Matt Ryan, I should say. Matt Leckie, of course, not part of this squad. Number 86 for the Australian goalkeeper tonight, puts him behind the legendary Alex Tobin on the all-time list. Goodwin, the break for Duke. Heavy off the outside of the boot and straight into the arms of Hamady. So better press from Australia to win the ball back high up the pitch. Heeding your words, Daniel McBreen. A little pirouette too from Boyle. Miller with the long throw. Duke got a touch. This is Metcalf. Two in the box for Conor Metcalf, and it's deflected behind off Mohamed Salah for another Australian corner. Let's see if Goodwin and Souttar can repeat their magic.
Well, he'll definitely be the target, won't he? Harry Souttar probably go and stand himself right inside that 6-yard box. And ask that man, Craig Goodwin, to just put it on his head and let me do the rest.
Well, they can stick as tight as they want to Harry Souttar. They've got about 3 players around him, which of course could free up space for others. Harry Souttar won't mind who scores the goals as long as they come. Salah has been charged with the responsibility, thankless task though it is, keeping tabs on Australia's giant number 19. Marcus involved in a little bit of push and shove with Ode Dabar. There's a fair bit going on in there. Now we're finally ready. Souttar jockeying for position. Goodwin delivers, and it's away at the near post from Attar Jaba for Palestine. Know where the threat is.
We saw that last match out, didn't we, against Bangladesh? 2 players trying to mark Harry Souttar. Same happening again. As you say, Simon, that can free up space for another Socceroo.
No foul by Albata. It's a good challenge from Rolls. Needed to be made as well. Goodwin hammers it in the direction of Duke and Boyle as we tick over into first half stoppage time, of which there's going to be a couple of minutes. Still time for Palestine to make inroads here. It's Albata, and it's behind off Aziz Bayic, and Palestine will have a corner in first half stoppage time.
Well, he's having a good game, isn't he, Albata, the captain? He's getting forward, balls into the box, he's defended well at the other end. He's won his team a corner here.
Which Mohamed Rashid will take short. Albatat looking to pick out a teammate. Big chance here. Matt Ryan with a miraculous save to deny Tamer Sayab. It fell so invitingly to Palestine's number 9. But Matt Ryan made himself big and strong and made a crucial stop.
That he did indeed. Looked for all money, it was going to be a Palestinian goal there.
Rashid's corner, deeper this time. Java can't reach it. Back by Saldana, out again by Metcalf. And Palestine finishing the first half strongly. Here's that man, Siam. Threaded ball through. I'll tell you what, if that first touch goes towards goal rather than away off Ode Dabar, Australia are in big trouble.
Yeah, that's a couple of huge warnings, signs for the Socceroos. And as long as this remains at 1-0, Palestinians will see that they've got some hope.
Well, that is the half-time scoreline. Harry Souttar with the crucial goal, just as he did against Bangladesh, opening the scoring from Craig Goodwin's delivery. But Australia are mighty grateful to Matt Ryan for a big save in first half stoppage time to deny Tamer Sayam. Nobody picked him up. Australia, their defenders pushed out. That's why Matt Ryan is so highly rated. That is a miraculous save to protect Australia's lead, which they hold at the interval by the slenderest of margins, thanks to Harry Souttar and their captain. Half-time in Kuwait City, Palestine 0, Australia 1. We're off to a quick break. On the other side, join Tara Rushton, Luke Wiltshire and Alex Brosk for their thoughts on the first half.
Socceroos continue their road to the World Cup in 2026 over in Kuwait at Jabba Al Ahmed International Stadium against Palestine. 5 p.m. kickoff their time, early hours of this morning here in Oz. And well, it's not exactly what they dished up v Bangladesh. Slightly flatter, slightly duller, you've got to say, Luke Wilkshire and Alex Brosk. It wasn't quite what we were expected. 1-0 is a score at half-time, so the Socceroos are in the lead, which is a positive, but they've been given a couple of almighty scares.
They have, and look, it's a good reminder as well. I think we tend to forget sometimes heading into these campaigns of just how difficult it is, these games away in Asia. So I think, look, it's probably no real surprise that the pitch doesn't look great. It's very bobbly. The ball isn't moving as freely as we'd probably want. But even still, look, I think it was our go-to that got us the goal in the end. Craig Goodwin delivered to Souttar, got us underway. But even still, it's been pretty flat. It
is exactly the same way that the Socceroos opened their scoring against Bangladesh on Thursday night at Amy Park. We spoke about him, Harry Souttar, and the aerial threat, the threat in the box that he is, and that delivery from Craig Goodwin.
He is, it's just on point. Look, you see Harry there, he's been man-marked. He's trying to grapple with the guy, but he's the presence that he is. The ball's on the money. He doesn't have to do a lot to it. He just guides it in and does what he does. And again, it's the go-to. Because up until then, we hadn't created pretty much anything, and it was probably Palestine who started the better. But that's the difference at the moment, is those set pieces.
How do you even mark Harry Souttar, his 10th goal in his 22nd international appearance? Harry Souttar has been immense. He's looked the most likely. He's very hard to miss in the box when you look at who's having such a big impact on the first half. And this, of course, is the opportunity to see this side before the Asian Cup campaign takes place. So looking at the Subway subs, who's going to come on and make an impact? Who's going to change things, turn the screws in the second half team?
We need a little bit more life about us, that's for sure. Lacklustre, I think, is the best way to put it. Look, maybe you can get someone like Boss coming in at left back, giving us a bit more impetus going forward on the left side, and someone like Barella, who you know is going to give you energy up top.
Look, those two perfect. I think maybe Sammy Silvera as well, who can come on and provide something different. That sort of direct, carefree sort of style that he has. Yangi as well, another presence up front to support Duke. So either of those four could come on and change the game, really. Maybe
something just to energise what's happening over there in Kuwait. All right, don't forget, this is the football that is heading your way. This being tonight, the last hit out before the Socceroos kick off the Asian Cup against India, Saturday the 13th of July. You can catch all of the Asian Cup live and exclusive across Network 10 and Paramount Plus. The Matildas are also back in action against Canada. Of course, they met at the most recent World Cup. That will take place next month in December, being the Matildas v Canada. So we cannot wait for that one as well. And yeah, you've got to catch it right here on Network 10 in December. Don't miss it.
Cuts it in, Adriana Leon. What a hit! What a great goal! Canada take the lead with a rocket into the top corner. Back to Kerr, who cuts it for Fowler. Less than 2.5 minutes on the clock, and Sam Kerr sets up Mary Fowler to give the Matildas the dream start. Red hot lover, burn cool as ice.
Socceroos are in the lead, 1-0. Well, just by the fingertips of Matt Ryan in the purple there. He needs a little introduction. And Tamer Sayam, the number 9 from Palestine, well, he fired that warning shot. He fired one very early in the game as well. And you can see that they are incredibly dangerous. And man of the match, man of the first half so far has got to be Matt Ryan. A big moment of concern, Ryan's strain. So he started this one at right back, and within 20 minutes, it looked semi-innocuous, team, but it has been confirmed from over in Kuwait that he has strained his groin. Hopefully it's not too serious.
It doesn't look good. Look, it's very innocuous. Obviously, no challenge there. He's gone down in a lot of pain. And you see here, it's come from nothing. But yeah, it's not a good look. And he didn't play the first game, so he hadn't played minutes. For that to happen is a big blow for him.
He's traversed the globe and he's lasted 20 minutes on the pitch. Harry Souttar, the big bopper in the middle, aerial duels, 6 out of 6, 100%. Alex Frost, no surprise.
No surprise with any of it. Even the amount of touches he's getting. Obviously, we're moving the ball around the back a lot, not really getting much penetration into midfield and creating chances out of it. So in games like this, he's going to get a lot of touches. Thankfully, one of them was the goal that we needed. But yeah, if not for Matt Ryan, and I guess a highlight of how important he is, he may not touch the ball all that much, but as long as this game stays 1-0 and they're in with a chance, they'll keep fighting, and we're going to need him again, possibly.
It was so vital in the stoppage time moments. What do you make of the Kai Rolls, Harry Souttar partnership at the back?
Look, it's been a great partnership. We saw in the World Cup. Obviously, Burgess has now come into the frame.
I know.
Which Arnie talks about, having that competition for places. Having 2 natural left-sided centre-backs is a fantastic option to have. Harry Souttar, is his own. But he touched on it, Matt Ryan just shows that, you got to stay switched on and focused the whole 90-plus minutes.
Absolutely tough place to go and play. All right, don't go anywhere. Kickoff is next.
All those Palestinian fans still full of hope and perhaps even expectation on the back of a rather rousing finish to the opening 45 minutes. But their team does trail at the interval thanks to Harry Souttar's goal. He's now scored in 3 consecutive internationals for the Socceroos, but not the most fluid performance in the opening half. Graham Arnold will no doubt be reminding them of the game plan at half-time. If they do manage to win tonight, Australia then will be top by some 4 points, because in the other game, Bangladesh managed to jag a draw against Lebanon in their game in Dhaka. And of course, not just about the World Cup qualifiers, but Australia got a big tournament on the horizon as well. Daniel McBreen, just 52 days before the Asian Cup starts against India. And we will want to go into that tournament on the back of 2 wins in these opening World Cup qualifiers. They are well placed to do that, but I'd like to see a little bit more from them in this second half.
Yeah, you're right, Simon. They have done well in the last match. They are leading 1-0 at half-time here, but I'm sure Graham Arnold would have said, come on, we need a little bit more here. We want a good performance before we head into that tournament. Let's sign off with a good performance here, a great second half. As you say, I'd like to see them a little bit more adventurous on the press, and also to get that ball to the midfield triumphant and get them facing forward and move that Palestinian defence around.
That's for Palestine, who are re-entering the field of play now. Defending that long unbeaten run in Asian qualifiers, 21 matches home or on neutral territory. They haven't actually played a home game since 2019, and they've got some great backing in the stands tonight. And they thought they had a goal, didn't they, in first half stoppage time, but for the heroics of Matty Ryan, which kept Australia's lead intact. Doesn't look like there's been any changes made by either coach at the break, so we await Qasim Al-Hatni's whistle, which duly arrives. Australia get us back on the way, leading as they do by a 1-0, thanks to Harry Souttar's 10th at international level. And, a little bit more control of the game perhaps required. They didn't start particularly well, Australia. First 10 minutes were a wee bit scratchy. Palestine are no mugs. As mentioned, they've qualified now for 3 consecutive Asian Cup tournaments, even if they are yet to win a game. Regional tournament finals. They are a handy outfit. This next 45 will require the utmost concentration from the Socceroos.
Well, they've defended well, haven't they, against the Socceroos? She can break forward here, but we've seen how both the Socceroos fullbacks push high. Martin Boyle, very good one, coming inside a little bit, trying to get them high and wide to get balls in behind, but haven't really got into too many opportunities in those areas. Great good one, 1 or 2 opportunities to get balls in, but on the whole has been defended quite well.
Rashid couldn't reach the ball, and Goodwin was trying to steer it into the path of Mitch Duke. There's not too much change out of Mohamed Salah and Michel Termanini, the centre-back pairing for Palestine. Stopping Harry Souttar, of course, is a completely different problem from set pieces. Loving playing for his country, doesn't get too many opportunities, unfortunately, for his club. He's played just the 1 game in the Championship for Leicester City. Says he wants to stay in January and fight for his spots. Not that he'll be doing that in January, of course. He'll be at the Asian Cup.
Well, sometimes it can be the easy option, isn't it, to go and find games elsewhere, but states he wants to try and break back into the team doing very well.
It's a foul on Lewis Miller. As he also pointed out, Leicester are top of the Championship in England, so he can hardly complain that the manager's making the wrong decisions.
Well, that's it. When the team's doing well, they're winning games, it's very hard to change the lineup, particularly your back 4 you like to keep as stable as possible.
His central defensive partner. Duo back in tandem today. A couple of opportunities for Sandro Giacatti and Cameron Burgess. Good ball by Souttar, touch back by Boyle. Jackson Irvine quite find his range. Metcalf first to the loose ball. Australia will claim the throw.
Well, we've seen a couple of balls like that, haven't we, from the Socceroos that we saw there from Jackson Irvine, just miscuing it. Just wonder if the pitch maybe is a little bit uneven, and just as they go to strike the ball, they're getting under it. Can make life a little difficult if that is the case.
All part of the challenge of playing in Asia. Ryan sprays the ball out towards Lewis Miller. Gets the ball stuck between his feet, but somehow he's managed to come away with it and retain his balance, or at least initially anyway. They had a couple of chops at him there, didn't they, Palestine, before Rashid eventually succeeded in bringing him to ground.
Well, he's been in a running battle with 2 or 3 Palestinians since he's come on the field, and you see him just saying to the referee how many times. It's been a good contest.
Goodwin gets the throw. Doing really well for his new outfit in Saudi Arabia. 5 goals in 8 games for Al-Wada. Enjoying playing in a league that, of course, is now full of global superstars. So Cristiano Ronaldo, N'Golo Kante, Riyad Mahrez. Back as the offender there. obstructing his opponent.
You see here, just to the left of your screen, just a little push, not much in it really. There's no real need.
He's getting a bit of disciplinary trouble for his club side, St Mirren. 6 yellow cards in 11 matches in the SPL in Scotland so far this season. Keanu Bacchus. Souttar got away from him there. Unfortunate ricochet of Conor Metcalf. This is Ode Dabar. Saldana. Dabar again. All very scrappy by the near touchline. Dabar comes away with it. Attar Jaba gives the ball away. And Australia will look to spring forwards. Goodwin's only option was Mitch Duke. Irvine. Goodwin. Back for Irvine. Good sliding challenge though. Attar Jaba. It's good defensive midfield play by Keanu Bacchus. Alert to that danger and getting quickly back goal side of Saeed Kunbar. This game is far from safe for Australia. This is Al Batats. Termanini for Mohamed Salah. It's a good take by Batat. He went for the early cross. Taking it on a few more metres.
Well, he saw that he had 3 teammates inside the box and wanted to get it in quickly. He was well defended on that occasion.
Salah. Sayem, who had Palestine's best opportunities in the first half. Had a play off Mitch Duke. It's tough going for the Socceroos. Clip into the box for Mohamed Rashid. And it's going to be a corner for Palestine.
It's a good start to the second half from Palestine, isn't it? Pressure being turned on the Socceroos. Afraid to get players forward as well to support.
Mohamed Rashid again with the corner. Angle back for Al Batat. Sayem. Abouada. Souttar couldn't reach it. It was a speculative effort from Attar Jaba. Way over the top of the crossbar.
And why not from that area though? He got into a dangerous area, got himself set, and just got under the ball.
Plays his club football in Azerbaijan for Neftchi Baku. He's actually a former captain of the Israel under-21 team. He changed his national allegiance, which, as you can understand, didn't particularly go down too well. It took him 2 years to get his travel visa. Now playing overseas, where he's coached by a certain Adrian Mutu. His temper's frayed just a little.
Well, it's been brewing a little bit down this near side, hasn't it? Lewis Miller loves a physical battle. Just getting a little out of hand on that occasion.
Saldana lost to boots in the process here. There's all sorts going on. Pushing and shoving and jersey tugging. Bacchus. Rolls for Souttar. Didn't quite reach, as is Bajic on that left-hand side. Almost running out of real estate on that far side of the pitch, and an infringement on Jackson Irvine, who's eager to get on with things, trying to inject some urgency into the Socceroos, and Martin Boyle trying to steal in behind, away by Salah for now. Duke looking to recycle it, stumble by Goodwin. Rather scrappy nature of the game at the outset of the second half continuing.
Well, it has been really hard for the Socceroos to put any real combinations together, hasn't it? Particularly in that front third. Such is the nature of the defensive effort from Palestine, and some of the conditions as well.
This is Lewis Miller, who's broken free of those shackles just for the moment. And credit really to Palestine's organisation. They weren't able to play in the October window due to the ongoing troubles back in their homeland, but that 3-week camp in Jordan has obviously helped with their cohesion.
Yeah, definitely very organised in defence. I think maybe a little bit more proactive in their press as well, which may have taken the Socceroos a little bit by surprise, who may have thought they would sit a little deeper. It'd be more a case of breaking down a team in that final third.
Nowhere to go for Craig Goodwin, and instead it's Palestine who spring forward. Sayam, Ode Dabar, Mohamed Rashid is furthest forwards. Can they fashion an opening here? Atta Jaba off balance and ultimately off target.
That was a nice break, wasn't it? It was Mohamed Rashid who made a great run into the box. You see the initial pass here, and look at him going through the middle there. Just wants it rolled across. Harry Souttar's big frame, probably just enough to stop the cross coming in. And when the shot finally did come in, it's not what was wanted. It's a little bit off balance and off target.
Required from Matt Ryan on that occasion. Craig Goodwin getting a fraction too tight on Musab Al-Bata, the Palestinian captain.
He's just a little late there, isn't he? Just catches the toe. But he's had a good game tonight. Impressed by him.
The domestic-based players, plays for Shabab Al-Daria. So only returned to Palestine this year. Has been playing in Egypt with eloquently named Ceramica Cleopatra. Club in Egypt. Plenty of distance behind that throw to pick out Duke. Miller losing out to Jaba. Good cover provided by Jackson Irvine. Less an hour played. Australia know they're in a game here. Not had things all their own way. To ping it out towards Lewis Miller on the right. State of play with just under half an hour to go now. Miller's lost out. Was there an infringement there by Souttar? The answer is no. Kumbar going to ground a little bit too easily. Bata almost able to steal. It's well played by Craig Goodwin. Double change for the Socceroos. Brandon Borrello and Geordie Boss to be introduced by Graham Arnold. Tim Boyle and Craig Goodwin, the two who make way. Miller, who's club boss Nick Montgomery, who of course we know well. We'll be delighted to see Martin Boyle get the early mark, given he's still feeling the after effects of that injury sustained while playing for Hibs against Kilmarnock.
Yeah, always a worry for club managers as this plays out.
Here's Connor Metcalfe, big chance this for Australia, but he delayed too long. Ultimately, the whistle goes in favour of Palestine. You were just waiting for him to pull the trigger there, Connor Metcalfe.
Yeah, well, it opened up. It hasn't done so for him so far in the match. The ball was played inside from Miller. You can see here, plenty of space. Gets the head up. Just thought, just strike it with the left foot. Looked like he wanted to come back on the right, and then the moment was lost.
Just wanted that extra touch, didn't he, Connor Metcalfe? Of those changes made by Australia. Boss on for his 6th appearance for his country. Strangely enough, he'll be in action for his club side in Belgium, Westerlo, against Charleroi next. It's Ode Debar's club. By Souttar, nice touch, 2 nice touches in fact. They've worked this beautifully, Australia. It's a good save to deny Brandon Borrello by Rami Hamadi. And that was some of Australia's best work in an attacking sense all night.
Yeah, beautiful interplay there. He's looked sharp since coming on straight away. Great combination. Look at the run, gets the eyes up, looks to find that bottom corner. Hamada with a good save down to his right. But just a little spark there from the Socceroos.
Craig Goodwin to deliver a corner kick, of course, now. So Connor Metcalfe has taken over those duties. Souttar waits to make his move. He's got Mitch Duke there as his bodyguard as well. Kumbar and Salah, as ever, out to greet them. Delivery can Connor Metcalfe produce here. Souttar's got away. Free header for Jordan Boss, and it crashes back off the crossbar. Still alive for Australia before it's eventually hooked away by Atar Jaba. And Lewis Miller will prevent any counter from Ode Debar. But Geordie Boss, oh so close. Not only to getting his first international goal, but maybe sealing the deal for the Socceroos.
Well, both substitutes having an impact. Borrello was involved in winning the corner. Johnny Boss found himself pretty much unmarked on the 6-yard box and smashed it against the crossbar.
As it is, the game remains in the balance. The changes have had the desired effect for Graham Arnold's team. Irvine. Morello lost his balance, but gains a free kick.
And here's another look. You just see Jordy Boss, he just ghosted in, didn't he, towards that 6-yard area. Everyone's thinking about Harry Souttar at the near post, and he'll be a little disappointed he didn't hit the target there. Free header 6 yards out.
Did the keeper maybe get a fingertip to it? Difficult to know for sure. So much power behind it, but again, that's the presence of Harry Souttar, isn't it?
Well, we saw there on that replay from behind the goal, as Harry Souttar made his run to the near post, there was about 4 or 5 red shirts circling him. No one was paying attention to that middle area, just ghosting in at the back, Jordy Boss.
Akram Daboub knows his team might well have been out of this contest. Perhaps that's why he's going to look to his bench. Ode Karoub is perhaps one of those to be summoned shortly. Perhaps that's where Australia have just gained a bit more control in this second half. Or am I being too generous, Macca?
I would say fractionally. I think the introduction of Borello and Jordy Boss may have sparked a little bit more movement in that front area. There hasn't been too much joy in the midfield today for Australia.
Wada's ball was behind his captain, Al-Batat. Past the midway point of the second half. Rolls arriving a fraction late on Ode Dabar. There was some contact. He's certainly making the most of it, Ode Dabar. Let's have another look.
I think that would have hurt, actually. Kai Rolls just sort of snuck into the side of Kai Rolls, but here's another look. You can see there all the red shirts going towards the near post for Harry Souttar, and Jordy Boss really should have hit the target there.
Nobody picked up his run. Ode Dabar just pointing out the graze on the leg. There's no doubt he was caught by Kai Rolls. It is Kai Rolls, not Key. He's picked up the game's first caution. Defensive line for Australia. Now they'll drop. Pops for Abouwada. Al-Batat still plenty forward for Palestine. Souttar imperious in the air again. Down by Rashid. Australia a little slow to push out. Wanting the pressure perhaps. Big chance here for Palestine. Flag was up against Taimar Sayam. And Australia are grateful for that.
Well, they are. And you said it, Simon, they were very slow to get out, to get pressure on the ball. And when the ball did come back in, they were second to it. Look at the red shirts there. Good winner, the header there. And most of that just tries to play it around the corner. And just drifted into an offside position. We're in coming into the last 20 minutes of the match now, and it's that time where Australia really needs to start thinking about killing off the game.
Brandon Borello's had one good chance. Jordy Boss has hit the crossbar. Still the margin remains at 1. Chris Miller is asking how he could be penalised there, but that is the verdict. Australia's next international will be in this part of the world, a friendly against Bahrain on the 6th of January before their Asian Cup quest starts in Doha against India. Subsequent group games to come against Syria and Uzbekistan. They want 6 points from 6 to start off their World Cup campaign. Although it's not all been sweetness and light for the Socceroos so far this evening, they do still lead. Souttar couldn't get there in time. Big chance this for Palestine. Abuwada, O'Day Debar, and he fires it wide. It is going to be a corner. But Australia was stretched there. They sold Harry Souttar a bit short, and he couldn't quite get there ahead of Abuwada. And Palestine almost making Australia pay for some sloppy defending.
Well, it was a sloppy pass out that initiated it. And then, as you say, Simon, some sloppy defending as well. And the longer this game goes at 1-0, the more and more Palestine seem to be gaining confidence.
O'Day Karoub has been sent on by Palestine. We'll confirm who's come off for him in a moment. Meantime, Sayam's corner met by Mitch Duke at the near post. The throw-in was quick and accurate, but the cross, unfortunately for Australia, wasn't. And he's been handy tonight, hasn't he, Tamer Sayam?
Yeah, he has. He's got himself into a couple of positions that have worried the Australians. Particularly that one just before half-time that Matty Ryan made a great save.
Mohamed Rashid is the player who's had his number called. It's a like-for-like change. One midfielder for another. 30-year-old from one of the biggest clubs in Palestine, Hilal Al-Quds. There he is, on for his 23rd cap. Has a brother who's also a professional, Laith, who plays as a winger for Marcos Balata, also in the West Bank Premier League. It's Zaid Kunbar. Another corner. Pressure building just a little bit.
He's toiled well as well, isn't he, up front? Kunbar tonight for the Palestinians.
Palestine throw. Saldania to take. Looking for movement and got it ultimately from O'Day Debar. In comes the cross. Nice drop for Atta Jaber. Now starting to ask the question, the Lions of Canaan. Al-Fadai, as they're known in Arabic. This has been a good examination of Australia's credentials in this group.
You can see there, both just in an offside position. Jabba, the culprit. It's a good period of play for the Palestinians, asking the questions of the Australian defence.
That ball needed to stick for Brandon Borello. Instead, he's given away a foul. Quarter of an hour to go in Kuwait City. Souttar's goal still the difference. Australia have come close to adding to their lead, haven't been able to do so. Bayic to clear his lines. Karoub getting involved. Now Termanini. Salah. Bending forwards, looking for Dubai. Borello stretching, but again, not quite able to reach it. Australia just can't get their foot on the ball at the moment. Has been issued to Abuwada, I think.
I think it's for just some fouls, he was saying. Was that a foul there by Conor Metcalf?
Mr. Metcalf. Confirmed, meantime. Bayic. Saldana, there you go. Driving run forward by Metcalf. Gap wasn't quite there to slip it through for Duke. Miller. It's good, tenacious scrapping. Isaiah Kumba. Graham Arnold frustrated with Lewis Miller for losing the ball. Karoub sends it forwards. Ryan has to come and gather and does. Boss cutting it back for his fellow substitute, Brandon Borello. Three red jerseys around him and somehow still came away with the ball. Backus has a lash at it from long range. And the upshot is a throw. Australia. Crowd of 14,537. Trailing one of the biggest flags you're likely to see throughout this qualifying campaign. My Arabic is not great, so I can't tell you what it says. Maybe Daniel McBreen can.
I'm afraid I can't. Sorry, Simon.
Good game again tonight, hasn't he? Harry Souttar, not just his goal.
Yeah, he's been very dominant in defence. Controlled the area.
Still time for Palestine. Flag here. Australia almost stopped for a moment, and I guess you call that a snapshot from Tamar Sayam. Way off target.
Harry Souttar wasn't happy there. Felt that the player had come back from an offside position. I tend to agree with him as well.
Got a play to the whistle though. As Palestine have shown that they are dangerous. Said all that, Australia are, as of now, 10 minutes away from very important 3 points. What would be a third consecutive clean sheet as well. It's actually really well controlled. by Brandon Borello, even though he's on the floor, and he's got a free kick for his troubles. Changes afoot, and Tamer Sayam, who's been one of Palestine's better players tonight, takes his leave. Islam Batran to replace him. He's toiled hard. Came closest of any Palestinian to breaking through, forcing that fine save out of Matt Ryan in first half stoppage time. Rather wasteful free kick from Australia. Now they've got to scramble back because the counter-attack is on. Souttar again is across to provide the necessary cover, and even to ensure that Palestine can't take a quick throw. That's real professionalism.
Well, he was always odds on, wasn't he?
Here comes the cross. He needs Kai Rolls to help out there. Borello chase his own kick on through. Scoop through the middle, and foul. Timmy Kumba over Riga, and all over the top of his opponent.
Well, it wasn't a bad run, was it? Just drifted off the shoulder. Very Souttar. Miller just did enough to get back and get his body between the attacker and the ball.
Australia do go on to win this one, Macca. I don't think it's a performance that will win too many beauty prizes, but that's sometimes just what you have to do in an away World Cup qualifier. Get the points.
Yeah, exactly right. The ultimate is the ultimate aim, the 3 points.
Hello, manages to keep that alive, nodded down by Metcalf. Duke can't turn, and Irvine can't hit the target, but Australia, I think, we'll get a corner.
There's another good opportunity with a good ball in, and Mitch Duke held the ball up from the nod down, and Terminini with the desperation with the block as Jackson Irvine came in to tuck it into that side netting.
So Souttar again will attract lots of attention. Will that open up the space for somebody else, as it did for Jordan Boss? Counted Bacchus is complaining of a little elbow to the ribs. So referee Kasim Al-Hatmi has a bit of sorting out to do before Conor Metcalf can deliver. Good to go. There's a whole cluster of players around the goalkeeper. Metcalf puts it right in that spot, and Irvine nods wide. Wouldn't have counted anyway, whistle had gone.
It's been no holds barred in those 6-yard areas on corners, isn't it?
Balance of chances created, Macca. Australia probably should be further in front. There's a little tangle between Miller and Kumba. And Miller is the player who's penalised. And this is a big opportunity here for Palestine.
Yeah. Well, I think Lewis Miller was fouled.
I think he was fouled first.
In first instance, and then blocked the run here. He was waiting for the foul there, it didn't come, and then runs across. And the referee's seen that as a foul as we look back at the missed header from Irvine, but it was a foul on the keeper. And this is a real dangerous situation for the Socceroos now.
Five minutes to go in Q8. Socceroos lead. A precious but a narrow one. And they must defend this set piece. Ali Hamidi, of all people, is down after that previous challenge. Got a bit of a problem. Not for long. All rather baffling.
His teammates were saying, "Get up! We want to go. We want to take this free kick."
Followed with the shoulder. Which just increases the tension really a bit for Australia as they wait to defend this free kick. Another change to be made by Palestine. Mahmoud Wadi is going to replace Zaid Kutbar. Wadi, a player who plays for the Arab contractors in Egypt. 6'2", and nicknamed the Tower. So maybe that's why they're sending him on at this precise moment. Here's the free kick from Al-Battat, and Mitch Duke sends it away from danger. Irvine gets it further clear. Jordy Boss commits the foul. Sort of entering now or never territory for Palestine.
We can see the desperation now. Every time the ball's stopped or free kick, Palestinians running quickly to get the ball. They know they're still in with a shot.
There's Al-Battat. They've hung in there in their difficult moments. Good run by the fullback. The cross was beyond Karoub, and Metcalf gets it out of harm's way. Still more work to do defensively for the Socceroos. They're by no means home and host just yet. This is Ode Dabai. Saldania, his cross is charged down, but with the arm of Keanu Bacchus, another free kick for Palestine.
You can see the arm raised there.
Palestine need a good delivery from Saldania. Salah, Termanini waits. Saldania's delivery. Fraction too deep if you ask me, but still there. Back in it comes Souttar again with an important clearing header. And a miscue on the edge of the box by Mahmoud Wadi, and Palestine wants a penalty. Referee Qasim Al-Hatmi completely unmoved. And they will continue those protests. Let's have another look at it.
It's just an air swing, isn't it, for mine? As you see, Brandon Borello just comes out really to block it, and there's no contact there at all. If anything, it's the follow through from the shot.
He's kicked into Borello, hasn't he?
Exactly. And they're certainly making life difficult for the Socceroos, aren't they?
We're into the 90th minute of the game. Bacchus to spring forward. Duke. Position for the return. So too was Termanini. Jamie McLaren is one of those standing by to come on. Aidan O'Neill, the other player, if the ball goes dead. It's lovely skill. Abu Wada. There's no foul. Mahmoud Wadi. There is going to be 5 minutes, or a minimum thereof, to be added on. Palestine desperately trying to extend this long, unbeaten home record in Asian qualifiers. It's going to be Matty Ryans. And maybe Macca, they will thank their goalkeeper and captain as much as anybody, Australia, if they do win this game, for that quite brilliant save in first half stoppage time.
Yeah, it was a great save. Looked for all money to be the equaliser just before going into the break. I think probably Harry Souttar is probably another man they can thank. Like he got the goal, but he's won everything at the back, hasn't he?
Sent forward by Termanini. Good header won by that man, the tower, Mahmoud Wadi. Souttar in exactly the right position once again. Socceroos not able to stick hold of the ball, and too often that's been the case tonight. Salah angles it out towards Saldana. Working hard to try and keep Palestine penned in. Given away by Miller. Oh, that's lovely. From Saldana, the cross, fortunately for Palestine, doesn't match it.
It was a little tight, that cross, wasn't it? He could have driven with the ball. Tried to whip it in early. Matty Ryan always the favourite there.
Embers of a patchy performance by Graham Arnold's team, but one that's at the moment at least has them zeroing in on 3 points, 3 precious points. A little bit of extra insurance, maybe just time wasting at the end. Not going to be barely time for Jamie McLaren or Aidan O'Neill to pick up any sweat as they replace Keanu Backus and Mitch Duke respectively. No hurry to take this throw either. How do you assess the Australian performance overall tonight, Macca?
Oh, look, Simon, well, you said it earlier. The ultimate aim is 3 points. If it remains as it is, they've achieved that. It's not going to win any points for being easy on the eye or a dominating performance. The Palestinians have shown that it's very difficult, as we know from past ventures. It's not easy to come and pick up the points, to dominate matches against these nations.
Once again, the Jabba Al Ahmad Stadium in Kuwait City is, with a minute to go, proving to be a happy hunting ground for the Socceroos. They won 4 out of 4 during their COVID-affected World Cup qualifiers of 2021. And barring a late goal here for Palestine, they are going to claim the 3 points back at the same venue 2 years on. Miller's long throw off the head of Salah. Is he going to drop here for Geordie Boss to finish it? But no, straight at Hamady. Knows that time is of the essence, but he's not quite accurate enough with his release, and that might just be about that. And there we go, and in the end, was really a case of never mind the performance, feel the result. 2 wins from 2, 6 points out of 6 thanks to Harry Souttar's first half goal. A perfect start to Australia's World Cup quest as Palestine, who toiled hard tonight, were edged out by Graham Arnold's team. The World Cup can be put on the back burner now until March next year. And Next up, the Asian Cup in January in Qatar for the Socceroos. It wasn't the most fluent of performances, and Palestine, to be fair to them, made life pretty tough for the green and gold, but in the end, that combination once again, Craig Goodwin's delivery and Harry Souttar's header from the set piece were enough to claim all 3 points for the Socceroos. Full time in Kuwait City, Palestine 0, Australia 1.
So the Socceroos make it 2 from 2 as they kick off their qualification to the World Cup in 2026. 1-0 as you heard the final score. And yes, the man with the best set piece in the green and gold whips it in to Harry Souttar, arguably the tallest Socceroo. I think he's taller than Cameron Burgess, but he is a big bopper. Far from convincing Luke Wiltshire and Alex Brosk. At times it looked as though the Socceroos were going to let that lead slide, but they walk away and they get it done.
I think that's going to be the takeaway, isn't it? It's the 3 points. The job is done. By all means, it wasn't a fantastic performance. Less than convincing. And you know, look, we touched on it, Broski, that going into the back end of that second half and Palestine were pushing. Had they got an equaliser, you couldn't really begrudge them if they did manage to do that.
No, and if they had, I mean, it was fully deserved as well. I mean, they pushed, and the longer it stayed 1-0, the more they felt that their chance was coming, but it was just a lack of quality for them. You know, no one really that ever looked like scoring. And to be fair, the only time they did, Matty Ryan was there to stop it.
And when we talk about our chances, you know, again here we see Geordie Boss off set pieces. That was when we were most threatening. We didn't carve out any clear opportunities apart from the one Borrello had. And, you know, we saw again, Palestine were pushing. We had to defend desperately at times. Harry Souttar was phenomenal again, both obviously in attack scoring the goal, but also defending the box. And we need him, like I said, him and Matty Ryan.
Yeah, I think as well, I mean, we touched on it at half-time that, you know, just how difficult these games can be. And again, a reminder, not just for us here watching it, but I think for them, you know, I think for the players who probably thought after a 7-0 win that they'd go over there and cruise. But look, it was anything but that. The performance was flat. The movement wasn't the same. There was no sharpness to any of it, and completely understandable. Again, we're not going to expect a 7-0 and a great fluid performance every single time. Sometimes it's just about getting the win and moving on. Yeah,
Palestine, they were asking so many questions. Tamar Sayam, then number 9. In particular, it was Matty Ryan's fingertips that kept Australia in the lead on the 18th minute mark, and it was copy-paste really from what we saw against Bangladesh last Thursday night. Craig Goodwin, Harry Souttar, easy as you like. A set piece, so another goal from a set piece team. This is becoming the thing.
It is, and look, you know, we touched on before, you play to your strengths, and when you've got someone who can deliver a ball like Craig Goodwin can, and you've got someone like Harry Souttar that heads the ball like he does, then you got to use that weapon. And you know, especially in against the Asian nations, the qualifiers with the height and the physical prowess that we have, you got to make most of it, and we've done that yet again.
And it'd be so deflating for them as well, because up until that point, we hadn't looked like doing anything, and Palestine, for the most part, was showing more, I think, going forward. And then out of nowhere, I mean, they would do their homework on marking Harry Souttar and sometimes doubling up on him. There's just nothing you can do, to be honest. So, you know, while we've got Craig Goodwin and that delivery on the pitch and Harry Souttar out there, we're always going to be a threat.
It's difficult, and against opposition like we have seen this morning, evening over there, you're reluctant then, because of Goodwin and Souttar and that combination together, to take either of them off, right? When you think about who came on in the second half, who was going to add something up top, you think you keep those two on because that could be the route to goal yet again, and it's most likely to be the route to goal yet again as we look at the match stats. Harry Souttar, of course, with his 10th international goal in his 22nd international game. It was a really competitive, it was a really strong performance from Palestine. They could have jagged the goal very, very easily.
Well, you see there, you just look at the stats there. Final third entries, 55-44 in Palestine's favour. Crosses 26-15, 108 passes in the final third compared to Australia's 88, which actually shows that Palestine were the more threatening team throughout the match.
They absolutely were, Broski.
Look, there was definitely more intent from them. There was more of a sharpness every time they had the ball to go forward. Again, just that lack of quality, which, to be fair, we weren't showing either in the front third. We weren't showing much, you know, in terms of ball movement and creating chances. But look, I mean, possession, we shaded it because we kept the ball, we kept it moving. We're up 1-0, so they had to come out a little bit. Again, just flat. We'll take the points and and move on.
We'll take the points and we'll focus on the Asian Cup in January. That is what we are going to do. All right, we're off to a short break. Don't forget the A-Leagues. They return this weekend with a huge Sydney derby.
And off we go. Sydney FC and Western Sydney Wanderers get it on again. And still, Cassini Yengi!
Past one on his left foot, let's fly! First blood in the derby, and it's sky blue.